this is a genuine example. I really haven't changed this very much at all, except to hide the identity of the organisation.
It's fantastic.
We'll come to that. I'm sure you'll agree with me that it's actually really quite difficult to read. It's difficult to understand what it's about. It uses no fewer than 4 different fonts, and the choice of fonts makes it quite difficult to read. So let's see what happens if I just work on the fonts. I changed nothing else about it. But what I've done here is I have chosen just 2 fonts, a nice headline font, which makes the title, the most important thing, stand out and be readable even at a bit of a distance. For the rest of it, I've chosen a clear, simple sans serif font, which is also easy to read. I've introduced something called hierarchy, which, if you think about a newspaper article, it has a hierarchy where the heading, the headline, is in big bold letters so that you can see at a glance what the story is about. The next thing you have is a little paragraph that's in a slightly bigger font that gives you a synopsis of the story. And if you, after that, are still interested in the detail, you'll read the rest of the story in a smaller font. And the same basic principle applies to any document that you put together. The most important things need to be in the biggest, boldest text. Another thing about text is that you need to pay attention to the contrast the text has with the background. Because if there's no contrast, your text becomes illegible, and what's going to happen to your message then? Nobody's going to be able to read it. Now that we've sorted out the text, let's have a look at layout. If we look at the page the way I've laid it out here, it uses a simple 3x3 grid. There's 3 rows across the page and 3 columns going up and down. And all I've done is I've laid the different elements, the title, the images, and the rest of the text block along that grid. And that's created what's known as white space. Don't ever be afraid of white space. It might seem really counterintuitive to leave lots of blank space on your document. But actually what it does, it focuses your eye on the relevant bits and makes you read it in a logical flow. And if there's one thing that I really, really want to get across tonight, is that when you're putting together a document or an advert, you've got about 3 seconds to capture people's attention. And in those 3 seconds, you've got a choice of getting one message across or none. And if you clutter the page with too many ideas, too many things, too many messages, you'll end up getting none across. So we come to the clip art bit. Good old clip art. It doesn't actually communicate terribly well all the activities that are on offer at this event. So let's have a look at a way of improving that. What I've done is I've put a simple yellow box to basically group the text together, and I've made a sort of a uniform line of visual elements to advertise the activities on offer. But now that we've taken the clip art out, it actually looks really, really boring. So, if we want people to read our adverts, one of the best things you can do is use one simple, very, very good image to essentially draw people in. In those 3 seconds you have for people to look at your adverts, what you're trying to do is you're trying to make them create an emotional connection. This image is designed to pull people in so that they actually concentrate and read your text. Notice also how I've adjusted the contrast of the text again to work with the background better. And I've tied in, you probably won't be able to see it here, but this font colour ties in with the colour of the grass behind it, so it looks cohesive. And there you have it. That's how you design an advert in 4 easy steps. My name's Max Planthan. I've got some cards with me if you want to grab one. Thank you very much for listening.